Very good, very good. I would say good evening now. It's good evening to all of you. There's advantage speaking right now when you have to build on thoughts that has been spoken by others, and you have your senior to back you up or to even correct you later on. So that's an advantage that I have. There's also an advantage of sitting over there, and I think 2 years back when we had the first conference, I learned a lot from the sessions that went by and from the talks delivered by some of the, I would say, statesmen, leaders of our fraternity. In fact, I went back so enthralled that the moment I was handed over the charge of the PGP program in Fore, I thought about overhauling the entire syllabus and the course structure. And that's what I actually did. So I benchmarked with what I would say the best across the world, the best across the IIMs. I benchmarked on all the learnings that I was able to glean on that bright day in January and 2 years back. And also kept on eating the head of Subrat to ask him as to what are the competencies that industry is now preferring based upon his experience of doing survey across the B schools. So thank you, Subrat, in multiple ways, and thanks to this conference, I think, and also thanks to Professor Maitri, whose model curriculum, the AICT model AICT curriculum, also helped me in a big way to redesign the entire course structure at Fore School of Management. And because of this, we were able to introduce a lot of courses in different areas, including IT, where we have now big data, business analytics, machine learning, AI, social media analysis, everything. And we have nothing so far HR is concerned. This is quite something, you know. We do not have any new freshman course so far HR is concerned. We have a course in finance, some courses in finance. We have a huge number of courses in IT. We have a significant amount of courses in marketing. Again, marketing, most of the courses are around digital marketing, and that's it. And some amount of simulations. IT has in big way, but HR, I think, excepting for HR analytics, we don't have anything beyond that. So maybe when I introspect, maybe we have to really look at what we need to do now. Now, there's another aspect of me which Dr. Singh always talks about. I'm essentially not a man of HR. I'm a man of organizational design and change. So I look at the big picture. And my big picture tells me that I have to look at this HR function from two aspects. One in terms of competency, that is domain specific, and competencies that is context specific. That's a larger context within which this domain has to be active. This is because HR is responsible not only for its own behavior, not only for its own activities, HR is also responsible for the behavior and activities of those whom it hires, and also for the culture and also for the climate within which people tend to perform. So HR now has to understand business, not only understand their own function, they have to also understand the larger business within which their own function has to subsist and within which they have to excel as such, and the people whom they have hired, they also need to excel. Now this makes me come to certain aspect which I think is very important for all of us today. And the aspect which I'm talking about is an aspect that a lot of people have been talking about, the aspect of what we call an agile cooperation. Dr. Singh was prescient enough to look at 7 pillars of this agile cooperation. People have theorized upon it, but here we have a man who doesn't require any theory. His experience has been so great, and his ability to integrate those experiences with the theory that he has is so powerful that he has brought about everything in its proper relief. Cost leadership, quality leadership, customer orientation, speed, time to reach the market, innovation leadership, culture, people. He has covered everything. But I'd just like to add a little bit more over there, just to ensure that that I fulfill the function that I'm supposed to do, that is add value to over here. The couple of stuff that I think is extremely important. The whole idea behind agile cooperation is to keep the customer at the center. No more is the customer outside the organization. Organization is now outside, customer is inside. So the entire purpose, if you look at Alibaba, it does retail business without any inventory. Uber doesn't have any cars. Airbnb doesn't own any hotel. But these services are being provided because they have kept customer at the center. And I think this is where the business is going. More innovations are carried out by people who are no more the employees of an organization. More and more people are part of the gig economy who are also not an employee of an organization. Most of the IPRs are not within the territory or the geography within which the company is operating. That's the way the world is moving. Now, given this, if I have to keep the customer at the center, what does it mean for us? Now, so for us, what does it mean in terms of management? So the goal of the management now shift from, and I think this is where the HR also has to take a look at it. The goal of the management has to shift from enhancing the shareholder value to bringing about customer delight. Now for the HR professional, the customer is not outside. For the HR professional, the customer is the employee inside. And I think that's where the entire orientation has to change. Now, therefore, if I have my customer inside who is an employee, and if I put my design thinking over there, then I have to now I need to have all those competencies that a design thinker in a manufacturing setup would need to have. What is that which I need to have? I need to have a sense of empathy. I need to have a sense of optimism that this is not a problem, this is a challenge, this is an issue, and how can I resolve it to the satisfaction of my employee concerned? Then I have to become creative in terms of the solutions that I provide. Now, being creative doesn't mean that I have to innovate something or pioneer something new. It means that maybe I have to think slightly differently, but I have to be seized with the problem all the time. I need to ideate, I need to explore, I need to experiment, I need to make mistakes, I need to learn from mistakes, and I still need to come with a solution. Now, that's a totally different mindset that we are talking about. Then I go one step further. Moment I do that, moment I empathize, moment I become optimistic, moment I'm trying to bring about a solution, I have to ensure that this gets executed. Now, design thinking is all about a self-managed and empowered team who is enabled to think that way. Can an HR person also think can think that way? Can also enable people to think in a non-bureaucratic, non-hierarchical way? Now, these are challenges that HR needs to has to face, and competencies that they need to build upon, both in themselves and also in the people who are there in the organization. Think about the fact that business is about growth. Think about the fact that business does not mean shareholder value. Think about the fact that business does not mean cost. Think about the fact that values like transparency, integrity, openness makes a huge amount of sense in today's world. Think about the fact that at the entire center is the customer outside and also the employees inside. And that's a huge mindset change. So in terms of competency, I will just say one competency apart from others which are extremely important, that is design thinking. I think design thinking now has to come into HR and has to move from simple marketing. And I think that will take care of everything. Empathy, creativity, innovativeness, problem solving, and whatever 6 competencies that you have underlined over here. Thank you very much.